Welcome back to The Jumping Mystic, continuing our excavation of the Discover Your Genius arc, and I have to say, the terrain is changing.
Oh, yeah. How so?
Well, looking at the source material, we're definitely moving from philosophical, the sort of, what is this, to the extremely practical.
To the how do I actually use this?
Exactly. It's a real shift in gears.
It is. We're moving from the general idea that you have genius to the very specific mechanics of what it's called.
We are, but before we unroll these new maps, I have to do a quick continuity check. We got to keep our metaphors straight here.
Okay.
Last time, we were leaning pretty heavily on this image of the mind as an ant nest. You know, these complex, dark tunnels we're all trying to navigate.
Without a flashlight.
Without a flashlight. So, honest question, how are your shins? Still bruised from bumping into the furniture?
You know, the shins are healing up nicely, actually. I think I'm finally starting to learn the layout.
Oh, good.
It's less crashing into walls and more,
Yeah.
well, grazing them with intention.
Haha, I like that. Grazing with intention.
It's less about seeing and more about, proprioception. Just knowing where you are in the dark.
That's a great way to put it.
I think we are finally sorting out those Sheldon versus Missy maps we talked about.
Okay.
You're finally stopping that habit of trying to use a theoretical physics map, the Sheldon approach, to navigate a very physical, intuitive territory.
The Missy approach.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're actually looking at the hardware we have, not the hardware we wish we had.
Which is, the perfect segue. Because today we are officially crossing a threshold. We are leaving section 1.
We are.
That whole section was about foundational discovery, just, excavating the bedrock and admitting, okay, genius is here somewhere.
Just getting permission to look.
And now we're stepping into section 2, gift-specific jumps.
This is the pivot point.
Yeah.
If section 1 was about permission, section 2 is about vocabulary.
Vocabulary.
It's about naming it.
And looking at the notes, this is a massive section.
It's huge. There are 20 specific gifts covered. So to keep us from getting completely overwhelmed,
Yeah.
we're breaking section 2 into 4 parts. Today is part 1, so we're going to cover jumps 6 through 10.
Okay, let's unpack the mission here then. Why do we need 20 different names? Why isn't it enough to just say, I'm smart at things?
Because I'm smart at things is just too vague. It's not actionable. It's like walking into a hardware store and saying, I need a tool.
Right, a hammer, a saw, a
Yeah,
what?
exactly. If you try to hammer a nail with a laser level, you're going to have a bad time.
You are.
So the whole point of this section is to move from the general, I have genius, to the specific, what is my genius called? It's about naming your wiring so you can stop forcing yourself down paths that just don't fit.
This goes right back to that idea of undernaming that we touched on a while back.
It's the core of it. Undernaming is the silent killer of potential. It's when you have this profound ability, but you don't have a fancy title for it, so you just dismiss it.
Right. It's not neurosurgeon, so it must just be a hobby.
Or a quirk, or, it's just something I do.
Oh, I'm just good at listening. Or I just, I like to reorganize the furniture when I'm stressed out.
Exactly. And here's the thing. When you don't have a name for that tunnel in your ant nest, you can't use it on purpose. You just sort of stumble into it.
But once you name it,
it becomes a tool. It becomes a trade. You can deploy it strategically.
So today is about checking out the first 5 tools in the kit, seeing if any of them belong to you, our listener.
Okay, let's get into it then. 5 jumps, 6 through 10. And I have to say, the titles are amazing. They sound like character classes from a video game.
They're evocative for a reason. They need to stick.
Let's start with jump 6, the language listener.
Oh.
Okay, on the surface, this just sounds like someone who's good at learning languages. Is that what this is?
Not even close. It has nothing to do with Duolingo or memorizing vocab lists.
Okay.
You could be completely monolingual and still be a genius language listener.
So if it's not linguistics, what is it?
Well, first, look at the mechanism. This is a doppelganger jump.
Let's clarify that. A doppelganger jump means,
What?
am I meeting an evil twin?
No fighting. A doppelganger jump is a visualization where you meet a version of yourself. The version of you who has fully integrated this capacity. It's a conversation with your own potential.
Got it. So for the language listener, who am I meeting?
You're meeting the you who understands the resonance behind the words. It's not about syntax, it's about hearing the intent. The source material talks about hearing the silence in between.
Ooh, that phrase gave me chills.
Yeah.
But it also sounds a little abstract. What does hearing the silence in between actually look like?
It's deeper than just being polite and waiting for your turn to talk. Think about an argument. Most people are just listening to the literal words. Your partner says, You didn't do the dishes. A normal listener hears a fact about plates. A language listener hears the hesitation. They hear what you almost said.
So they aren't hearing dishes, they're hearing, I feel overwhelmed and unsupported.
Precisely. They are like high-definition audio receivers for human connection. They hear the frequency, not just the lyrics.
So the benefit is huge for relationships.
Yeah.
You stop arguing about the chore itself.
You start responding to the real signal, not the static. If you've ever felt like you just know what someone's feeling and people have told you you're projecting, you might actually be a language listener.
Wow. Okay, so it's not paranoia, it's perception.
You have to name it to trust it. Okay, moving to jump 7. This one makes me think of our friend Missy from the Sheldon analogies. This is the embodied mover.
Yes, this is the doppelganger for the kinesthetic genius.
Right, so Missy Cooper, she's not book smart like Sheldon, but she can pick up a baseball and just know the physics of the throw. She is the math.
She is the math. And in our world, which is so obsessed with Sheldon-style brain work, sitting at desks, typing on screens, we just ignore the intelligence of the body.
We treat it like a taxi for the brain.
A taxi for the brain, that's good. But the embodied mover is a version of you who thinks through movement.
And it's not just for athletes or dancers.
No, it's the person who needs to pace to solve a problem, the CEO who has walking meetings because their brain just shuts down in a chair.
I have a friend who literally cannot have a serious conversation unless he's doing the dishes or folding laundry.
Right, and what do? We tell these people to sit still and pay attention.
Stop fidgeting.
Exactly. But for this genius, fidgeting is paying attention. Movement is data processing. This jump validates that. It gives you permission to access your intuition physically.
I love that reframe. You're not fidgety, you're processing. So maybe get a standing desk. Take calls on a walk. Stop fighting your own hardware.
Stop trying to be a brain in a jar. Use the body.
Okay, let's get into jump 8. This title is fantastic. The Emotional Cartographer.
This is a big one. And notice the shift here. This is a timeline field jump.
So we're not meeting a self.
Yeah.
Why the change? Why not just meet the emotional you?
Because sometimes, to really get a gift, you have to inhabit a world where that gift is the currency. You immerse yourself in a timeline where mapping emotions is a skilled trade, like is respected as civil engineering.
Which is a huge shift because
Yeah.
our society, well, it labels this as drama.
Or being too emotional. It's seen as a liability, a mess.
Why do you have to make everything so complicated? That's what these people hear, right? Can't we just stick to the facts?
Exactly. But this jump reframes drama as cartography. It installs the somatic memory, the body memory of being an expert guide. You're the one who can walk into a room, feel the tension, and guide everyone safely through the emotional minefield.
So you're not creating the storm, you're the weather forecaster.
Or even better, you're air traffic control. You see the collision courses before they happen.
Wow.
The benefit here is huge. It turns that sensitivity from a burden into a profession. You realize, I'm not messy, I am a map maker.
That's a massive upgrade. From mess to map maker, you stop apologizing for feeling the temperature of the room.
You start valuing it.
Okay, next up, jump 9. This one sounds a little like my daily life, to be honest. The Improvisational Architect.
Ah, yes. The genius of building the plane while you fly it. This is a doppelganger jump.
Which I imagine absolutely terrifies the Sheldons of the world.
Oh, completely. The planners, the spreadsheet lovers, they look at this person and they just see reckless danger.
Where's your 5-year plan? Where's the safety net?
But for this genius, the plan is a hindrance. They need to respond to what's happening in the moment. Their genius is high-speed synthesis.
I feel like this is where the procrastination label gets misused a lot.
Yes. So many improvisational architects think they're lazy because they wait till the last minute. They're not lazy. They're waiting for the pressure to build. That's what activates their genius.
So this jump is about validating the person who doesn't need the answer before they start.
Exactly. It solves the imposter syndrome of the improviser. You know that feeling. You solve a huge problem in 5 minutes, and then you feel guilty because you didn't work hard on it.
Oh yeah, I just winged it, so it doesn't count. Real work is slow and planned.
That's the lie. This jump introduces you to the self, who knows that winging it is actually a high-speed architectural computation. You're building structure in real time.
It's jazz versus sheet music.
Precisely. One isn't better. But if you tell a jazz musician they can only play sheet music, they lose their spark.
All right, bringing us home for part 1, we have jump 10, the edge walker of intuition.
And this is our archetypal field jump for the day.
Right, so we're stepping into a root pattern. What does edge walker mean here? It sounds a little mystical.
It is, and it addresses a really painful internal conflict. So many thoughtful people feel torn between two worlds.
What worlds?
The world of what makes sense, logic, data, proof, and the world of what I feel is right, gut instinct, intuition.
The head versus the heart, the spreadsheet versus the vibe.
And we usually feel like we have to choose a side. The edgewalker is the archetype that lives on that threshold. It doesn't choose, it merges them.
So walking the edge between logic and mystery without falling into either one.
It's the ability to use logic as a tool, but let intuition be the guide. When you step into this archetypal field, you're stepping into the timeless energy of balance itself.
So the benefit is you just stop fighting yourself.
Yeah. You resolve the conflict. You realize your intuition is reliable intelligence, not just guesswork. It's a valid form of data.
Okay, so let's zoom out. That is quite a lineup. We've got the language listener, the embodied mover, the emotional cartographer, the improvisational architect.
It's funny looking at these 5, they sound like a superhero team.
In a way, they are. They're internal superheroes.
And what really strikes me is the power of just having the label. If I call myself fidgety, I'm just annoyed with myself. If I call myself an embodied mover, I suddenly have permission.
You move from a deficit model to an asset model. What's wrong with me becomes, how do I use this?
Over-emotional becomes emotional cartographer. It's not a flaw, it's a job.
And that connects right back to that gamma load concept we talked about before.
Remind me, that's the idea that high performance needs a high load.
Basically, yeah. It's the specific stress your system is built to handle. Like a truck is built to carry weight that would crush a car.
The Hulk in the radiation.
Exactly. When you name the gift, you stop avoiding the load it was meant for. You stop trying to explain away your intuition and you just start using it as data.
You stop apologizing for your nature.
And you start using it. You embrace the load because you finally have the right machine to carry it.
And this was just part 1. Jump 6 through 10. There are 15 more of these to uncover.
And the list gets even more specific from here. We're going to get into some cognitive types that I think will really shock some listeners.
I can't wait. Now, for you listening, if you want to keep up with this, you need to be in the loop.
Absolutely. The best way is to subscribe to the House of Mystics YouTube channel. That's where everything lives, the episodes, the jumps themselves, and crucially, the music that goes with them.
Don't miss out on the toolkit.
And before we go, I just want to leave you with one final thought on this idea of undernaming.
Let's hear it.
We often think genius requires some grand external validation, an award, a degree, but the difference between a quirk, something you hide, and a superpower, something you use, is often just the name you give it. Stop calling your genius a hobby.
Stop calling your genius a hobby. That is going on a sticky note on my monitor. Thank you.
Always a pleasure to turn on the lights.
We will see you in the next deep dive.